What is up, true believers? How are you this morning? You know I drank a lot last night. I couldn't hear a single word you just said. More. How are you this morning, true believers? My name is Mike Romo. I work with Norton. I also write for a little website called ifanboy.com. How are you? We are here with Stan, the man, Lee, and these are the winners. We ran a contest, Norton and Marvel, and these guys submitted questions to Stan Lee at our truck in Lot D near Petco, which is this crazy sort of like infestation of trucks. We've got the coolest one. It's a Captain America truck, and it's all about internet security technology, cybercrime. It's about Captain America, and you can win cool prizes just like this little shirt right here, and other stuff. So, I know you guys want to hear Stan's questions. I want to hear his answers. Let's start the contest right now. Our first participant, the first winner, what did they win, Mike? What did they win? They won this fantastic comic that Stan Lee wrote. It's in 3D, so when you're late at night, you're like, whoa, this is incredible. Stan, thank you for writing this. It's amazing. It's a signed comic. We have more of these. We're giving away 3 of these comics each day, signed by Stan Lee. So come by the truck, okay? I'm going to shut up now. Lindsay, what is your question?
Which comic book character that you've created would you say that you look up to the most?
So, Stan, did you hear that? Lindsay's question was, which comic book character that you created do you look up to the most?
Look up to?
Yeah, and it could be a short character, too. You don't have to look up to it physically.
Galactus, because he's the tallest.
And he's always hungry for planets.
Yeah. He has such an appetite, but he won't eat any fried foods.
Oh, good.
No.
Well, there are some fried planets that are very relieved to hear that. Thank you, Lindsay. That was fantastic. Our next winner is Doug. Doug, you had a cool question. This is a very relevant question, people.
How hard has it been to keep comics interesting with the change to digital media?
Oh, Stan, did you hear that? How hard has it been to keep comics interesting with this shift to digital comics, digital technology?
Well, there's no real shift. Digital technology is just an added way of doing comics. There are still regular comics. There are still DVDs and movies and television, and we're going to keep these characters going in every form, in every possible way, and they're going to get better and better, and you can tell whose side I'm on. Marvel!
Awesome. Stan, you are so awesome. I can't believe this. Shay, you had the next question.
Is there a superhero you've always wanted to create but never did?
Oh, man, Stan, did you hear that?
No, I heard it. Is there a superhero?
Is there a superhero that you wanted to create but you never got around to it? Because you're a very busy guy.
No, I created every one I wanted to. There are some I wish I created.
Like what?
I wish I had created Wolverine. I wish I had gotten there first.
Would you?
Hey, this is real good. Could we wait a while I read this, and then I'll get back to you?
Stan, I think everybody would be... I mean, as much as we love you, watching you read comics is bad TV, I think, a little bit.
I read real good.
You read real good. Everybody, Stan reads real good. We had some other questions from the internet I was wondering if I could ask you. This is one really interesting question. Were the X-Men inspired by the civil rights movement? A little heavy, I know, for Friday morning.
No, that came later. I had that idea after I created them. But the thing that they were inspired by, we wanted to get a new team of heroes. Well, when you get superheroes, you have to dream up their powers. And I had already done a radioactive spider, and I did a gamma ray, and I did a hammer that was stuck in the ground. I didn't want to have to think of something new, so I took the cowardly way out. I said they were born that way, and it was so easy. And I forgot the question, but anyway, that's the answer.
You can just keep that.
I lost my voice. I was talking so much yesterday. This isn't the way I usually sound. I've got the most beautiful voice you've ever heard. Really, come back next year and listen to it.
Stan, I think it sounds kind of sexy if you ask me. I think a lot of girls here are like, man, that guy is pretty good. What do you guys? Stan's so sexy you can't believe it. So Stan, I have a thing. There are a lot of people in this audience that look.
I can see that.
There are a lot of people in this audience, Stan. And they're all waving. They all love you. And they, a lot of them probably want to make a living
Thank you.
writing or drawing or being in the creative arts, and every so often it just gets so hard and they feel like giving up. Have you ever felt that way when in your career? Was there ever a time when you're like, man, writing comics is tough, and you just said, I don't want to do it anymore?
Well, I never actually gave up, but there are times when you feel, what am I knocking myself out for? The thing about comics years ago, there seemed to be no future in them because nobody gave a damn about comics except the guys publishing them and writing them and the few kids who were reading them. So there were times when I felt I wish I was in another business.
Really?
But now, oh no, this is the best. I mean, look at these people here. Look at this whole arena. Look at this convention center. Look at the fact that all the newspapers are writing about Comic-Con as if it's one of the biggest events in the world. I don't know, maybe it is.
It is. It's one of there are 100,000 people coming around to see people like you.
They're seeing everybody and everything. So it seems to me that now anybody in comics doesn't want to give up. Everybody wants to get into comics.
That's right.
Even screenwriters and television writers and novelists, they all want to write comics because if they write a good one, they figure it'll be made into a movie. And I'm wondering why I don't get back into it. Why should they have all the fun?
I think you should have your own talk show, Stan.
Right,
I think
I'll
it's
try.
pretty great. I have another one.
Oh, you know something funny? They gave me this bottle of water. Wouldn't it have been embarrassing? I write all these superhero stories. If I hadn't been strong enough to turn this, for a minute I got very worried. But don't worry, I opened it.
He did very well. You got a tight grip, Stan. So, there are heroes all around us every day. And when you were creating these characters, were there people around, people in your life that inspired you to make certain kinds of characters, certain characteristics, certain powers?
The only guy that inspired me when I was young was an actor, Errol Flynn. I don't know how many of you know him. He played every hero you could imagine. He was Robin Hood and Captain Blood and the mayor of Dodge City. And he was my hero. I wanted to be like Errol Flynn. The only thing is he wasn't a writer, so nobody is perfect.
I think you're pretty swashbuckling anyway. I've got to tell you. The hair is fantastic, by the way. Someday I will have hair like yours. So, you're kind of a movie star now in a lot of your
What do you mean,
movies.
kind of?
You are a big-time movie star, Stan Lee.
I mean, anybody can be a star. I do cameos, and I got the field all to myself.
What is your favorite cameo so far? Or is it they're just too many?
I love them all. I watch them, and I say, God, I was good in that one.
Well, you certainly don't sound like you were nervous at all. So maybe if you could be a mentor to a superhero in one of the movies, which superhero would you want to be a mentor to?
They don't need mentoring. I'm the guy who needs the mentoring. They know what they're doing.
That's fantastic. So, you've had so many different accomplishments and successes. Is it hard to rank one or two that you feel like, at the end of the day, I'm really, really proud that I was able to do this? Well,
No, I'm happy that I was able to do whatever I did. And you see, it was easy for me to do what I did because I liked everything I did because I'm my biggest fan. So whatever I did, I said, wow, that's great. And since I was the editor, if I thought it was great, I would publish it. So life was very easy. I wrote stuff. I said, ooh, this is terrific. And we published it. So I had no problems.
So do you ever feel like getting back? So you're writing comics right now, right? I mean, you're
Occasion.
Yeah.
Sometimes some idiot will ask me to write a comic. And before he can stop me, I write it. But I'm not doing it as a regular basis.
Well, you're sort of a special guest star writer.
I've decided I want to spend my life coming to places like this and answering questions. This is the most fun you can have.
Well, thank you, Stan. So there's one question that we got from the internet. What are the 3 things for you that make a superhero really tick? Like, is it like their background or their powers?
That make them really what?
That make them tick. That make them a real superhero in your eyes.
Well, actually, to be a real superhero, you have to do heroic things. So it doesn't matter what your background was. It doesn't matter if you're a thunder god or a kid from Forest Hills. If you do good, heroic things, like you're doing, being the MC of this thing, and that's not an easy job talking to me, that makes you a superhero.
Well, Stan, thank you very much. I've just been called a superhero by Stan Lee, ladies and gentlemen. I feel very good right now. So, have you seen Captain America?
I haven't seen it yet, believe it or not. I went to the opening and I walked on the red carpet and I didn't even trip. But I had another appointment. I couldn't make it, so I can't wait to go to a theater to see it. But I spoke to Chris Evans, and he said he thought it was good. And if he feels that way, that's good enough for me.
So when you were writing years ago, did you ever think that you would see your comic books like on the big screen? Did you ever think of them in terms of movies? Like, because you were inspired by Errol Flynn, he's a movie star. So was this your secret way to make movies, making comics?
Never in a million years did I ever dream when we were writing those comics that one day there'd be a whole convention with comic fans and I'd be sitting here boring them to tears.
You're
with
not
a
boring to
microphone.
tears. Are you guys bored? All right. Geez, Stan.
Well,
Give yourself a break.
You're stuck with it. There's no other place to go at the moment. No, but we just hoped that the books would sell and that we wouldn't lose our job and we'd be able to pay the rent. We never thought we'd end up being minor celebrities and that people would make movies of the stories and television shows. It never occurred to us in a million years.
So, Stan, what's next for the man, the myth, the legend? I'm referring to you. So, you're at the end of Comic-Con. After all of this magic happens, when you go back home, what are you going to sit down and do?
Well, here's the terrible thing. I hate to tell you this. When I come to Comic-Con, people are so nice to me. They interview me and they ask for an autograph. I go home flushed with all that great feeling. I open the door. My wife says, "Oh, you're back. Take out the garbage."
So, Stan, one last question. What is exciting to you about comics? Like, what right now, as you see all these independent people making their own kind of superheroes, their own kind of stories, is there any trends right now that you're seeing that really goes, wow, comics are going in the right direction?
Well, comics are always going in the right direction if the stories appeal to the readers and to the public. And I think Marvel has been doing, and I don't say this because I'm with Marvel, although it helps, but I think that Marvel has been doing the greatest job in the world. The Marvel movies, which made the least success, which were the least successful, are still better than most everything else anyone else is doing. They have a style of their own. There's an excitement about them, and they're doing with the movies what we did with the comics. Now they're going to start putting the characters together and guest starring, and nothing could be more exciting than that. So I think Marvel is doing just great. I love the movies. The competition isn't bad either. That Batman movie was great, and that's good for us, because if the competition is no good, then we tend to relax, and we must never relax, and we won't relax, and we're going to keep. Oh, and one other thing. The reason people like superhero stories so much, I've been asked this so often. When you were kids, I'll bet every one of you loved fairy tales. Stories about monsters and giants and ogres and witches. But you never outgrow your love for fairy tales, but you can't read them when you get older. But superhero stories are like fairy tales for grown-ups. It gives you a chance to recapture that old wonderment and that old feeling of what if there really were people who could do this or could do that. And I don't think the superhero genre will ever fade, and nor will Marvel.
Awesome. Stan Lee, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stan.
Oh, I forgot. Excelsior!
Excelsior! Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Stan Lee, the winners of the Norton contest. Come by the Norton truck at Lot D and have a great convention. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye now.